Stockton, en Californie. Cette ville a déjà été proclamée comme la plus misérable des États-Unis. Après avoir presque éradiqué les West Side Bloods et les talibans, il reste toujours près de 70 gangs de rue actifs. Mais comme j'ai peur de rien, direction Stockton. Stockton, c'est une ville du nord de la Californie qui a beaucoup de problèmes avec les gangs, mais c'est aussi une ville qui a fait faillite en 2012. Vous savez, pour combattre le crime, généralement, ça prend des sous. Donc, je vous laisse imaginer un peu le résultat. Le soir, Stockton, c'est vraiment sombre. Là. À part le centre-ville, là, on dirait qu'il fait noir partout. Pour rendre ça un peu plus intéressant, il se met à mouiller. Donc, ça rend ça assez lugubre, merci. Donc, je m'en vais rencontrer la première personne à Stockton, Selim. Hey, Selim.
What's happening?
Hey.
Nice meeting you.
What's up? Nice to meet you.
What's up?
So, why did you pick this park?
I picked this park because this park has a long history of where the Stockton Crips kind of actually originate and come from. And this is my neighborhood, you know. I'm from Northside Gangsta in Stockton, California.
And what's the name of the park?
Kenfield Park.
I'm curious, how do you get involved into becoming a Crips?
There's a lot of ways to get involved with becoming a Crip or, you know, any type of gang member, any type of gang, but my personal way I got involved with the Crips is because my stepdad was a Crip. How I got affiliated with it is just basically just growing up around, you know, Crip activity, gangbang activity. I got stories I can tell you all day, and then, you know, you get that role model when you got a stepdad that's around because your real dad's not around. Then you start looking up to him, you start wanting to be like him, you know, he starts teaching you stuff. So basically, all I wanted to do was be like my stepdad. I wanted to be a big, badass Crip, you know?
Can you actually decide to get out of the gang?
I mean, it's hard to get out of a gang. I mean, yeah, I could say I'm not in the gang no more, you know? It's not like back in the days, really, now, like when you used to try to get out of a gang, you know, get killed or, you know, you get beat really bad. You can just stop associating, moving away and all that shit.
Seems like over the past few years, you know, like, it's not as bad as it used to be.
Yeah, yeah, it's not as bad as it used to be. A lot of gangs aren't really tripping off of stuff no more. And like I said, it's more on a personal level because a lot of gangs are feuding within gangs, you know, like you got Crips feuding with Crips, you got Bloods feuding with Bloods. So it's kind of not the same as it used to be in the 80s and the 90s.
Ce qui est drôle, c'est que pendant que je parle avec lui, c'est que je me rends compte qu'il me regarde pas vraiment. Il regarde partout et ses yeux n'arrêtent pas de chercher. Fait qu'à un moment donné, j'ai demandé pourquoi. I notice that it feels fairly safe right now, but also I can see that you've been looking around quite a lot as we speak. So it's still some danger.
The reason why I'm looking around is because this park is kind of notorious for, you know, good times and bad times. And I don't know what state we are in right now in Stockton with Kenfield Park, you know, because I don't live out here no more. I live in Southern California. I pursue my business career and my acting and all that type of stuff. So I don't know what's happening right now. This park could be nice right now. It could be hot. For all I know, there's something that happened the other night and they looking for some people that did something. They ain't gonna come looking through this park, you know, or the police can just pull up and be like, what they doing at that park? This park is closed. You know, anything can happen. So I'm just trying to stay on my toes, look out for your guys' safety, look out for my safety, you know?
Donc, on se déplace un peu par la suite pour se rendre dans le quartier où il a grandi, pour qu'il puisse me raconter c'était comment la vie, comment lui, il a joint les gangs de rue et comment c'était la vie une fois dans le gang.
We're living in Kentfield Park. I'm about to take you to townhomes and around Bianchi Street. This is like Crip territory, Crip neighborhood. It's where, you know, I got put on the set, and it's where a lot of drug dealings and shootings and killing took place.
So how bad was this neighborhood?
It was, I mean, it's been off and on. You know, the police come through really deep, make it hot, clean it up a little bit. They add gates. But you know how it is with crime and violence. Like, they're going to take off for a little bit, then they're going to come right back. I mean, you can't get rid of it.
What it means to be jump in and jump up?
Well, jump in is when you basically, you know, you get beat up and then you join a gang. But the bad thing about getting jumped in is sometimes you got to get jumped in more than once because the other gang members aren't there when you get jumped in. So just imagine getting jumped, you know, 3-4 times by different gang members that weren't there when you got jumped in the first time.
So everybody's got to have a piece of
Everybody has to have a piece of you.
And being jump off?
Jump off is basically when you get your ass beat for
acting stupid?
No, not acting stupid, but basically you just either you don't got it in your heart to be a gang member, or you wouldn't do something that the hierarchy wanted you to do, or you're a snitch, or it's a lot of reasons. Or you could be a good kid and other gang members don't want to see you get in trouble, and the gang members that jumped you in shouldn't never even jumped you in.
So they break you?
Yeah.
Just to make sure you don't join?
Yeah.
Can it be also a warning? You know, if you're a snitch, they jump you off. It's some kind of warning.
Most likely you're gonna get jumped off or killed. But nowadays, when you're a snitch, a lot of snitches still walking around out there, you know, breathing and free on the streets because, like I said, gang life is not the same, you know. But don't get me wrong. There's some snitches that mess with the wrong people who aren't even a part of gangs and come up dead or missing.
So which hood are we at now?
We're in Northside Gangsta Hood. We go by 44 Gs, we call it North Pole. We got a lot of names, Townhomes, Gangsta Crips, you know, because Townhomes is right on the other side right here. So this is like one of the main congregation places where homies used to hook up out here and sell dope, you know what I'm saying?
So you've been jumped in there?
Yeah, this is where I got jumped in, right in that grass, right there.
How old were you?
Yeah. Shit, I was probably about 12. I stayed right up there in this apartment right here. And basically I have a group of friends that I hang with, you know, we used to all hang out, run around, be bad around here. And one day I told one of my homeboys that, you know, I'm a Crip now. And he was like, well, you're a Crip. I was going about my day, we were all hanging outside and play, but he went and told some of the older Crips that I said I was from 44 Gs, you know? So then next thing you know, I'm hanging out, some of the friends leave away from me, and then some older Crips come up to me and they were like, so you say you from Northside Gangsta, you from 44 G? And I was like, yep, Northside Gangsta. First off, you gotta get put on, homie, and then they was like, walk with us, and then went across the street, and then that's when they just started punching me and stuff, and then I threw a couple punches.
So you start fighting with them?
I tried to throw a couple punches and I was blocking because I'm getting kicked from all behind and stuff, and then someone kicked me in my back and I fell down on the ground, and they started kicking me like that and throwing punches, and they're like, now you from 44G, cuz? And they gave me, you know, picked me up, shook my hand, and it was like clapping and like, you know, and smiling and stuff, and then I was white, and then my friends, they were like, you know, my friends were like, you're from the Crips now? Oh man, they were all excited and shit. I got a different level of respect, you know?
What it meant to you to be part of it?
I felt like I was somebody, you know, and I felt like a lot of people had my back, and I felt like I just joined a bigger family, you know?
How dangerous it is for us to be here?
I mean, it just depends on the danger level and the hate level and who's on drugs and who's not on drugs. Like right now, it could be super dangerous, could not be dangerous. But at the same time, it's still fear because I'm telling you right here, a lot of drive-bys happen, a lot of shooting happen. So, and I was a kid right here, you know, I'll be on the stairs or in the house and I'll hear like gunshots, boom, 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 all day or all night, you know, like there'll be broad daylight gun shootings. You know, people hop out in the car, drive up the street, jump out and start shooting at some Crips, and Crips be shooting back, and there's kids playing outside, you know? So it's at that level of ignorance, you know?
Donc, comme il s'est mis à pleuvoir quand même assez fort, on a décidé de continuer la conversation dans le véhicule. Were you selling when you were younger?
Yeah, I was selling. I used to sell dimes and doves, nothing big. I didn't get into like double up and selling weight until I got older, around 16, 17 years old. But when I was 12 and 13, I was selling crack. I was putting food on the table, you know. We ate like one time in a day, and you know, my mom needs some money for food, so I sold my first dime, and I made that little bit of money. I just gave my mom $10. And she was like, kind of like looking at me like, you know, kind of almost with a tear in her eye, because she needed the money, but she knew how I got the money.
She didn't say nothing about it?
She didn't say nothing. And she let me go back outside. It was not usually I have to come in at around 8. But she kind of knew that, you know, things was kind of changing. I had to go out there and make something happen.
I gotta ask you this, you know, how it feels when you sell drugs to people of your community, you know, like you sell drugs to people you know that's gonna ruin their life.
You don't think about that. You think about your life being ruined if you don't get the money from selling drugs, because you might not eat that night if you don't have no money. So it's kind of like you gotta sacrifice something so that you can survive. So you don't think about that. You think about yourself first.
So life was rough.
Yeah, I mean, life was rough, but it was good, you know, good at the same time, too, to me. I mean, I was used to it, so you don't really necessarily know how rough it is when you're kind of used to it and you think that's the way life's supposed to be.
Donc, mon bilan de célim, ça a été quelqu'un qui m'a donné une autre facette des gangs, mais en même temps, c'est sensiblement toujours la même histoire. Sur la côte ouest, là, ce qu'il faut comprendre, surtout en Californie, c'est que c'est pas aussi délabré que les villes de la côte est. Donc, on retrouve pas là, nécessairement le même genre de dommages qu'on va retrouver à Détroit, à Cleveland. Ici, c'est relativement bien. Donc, même les maisons qui sont en moins bon état sont relativement belles. Donc, il faut pas se fier nécessairement au look du quartier pour savoir si c'est dangereux ou pas. Ici, on a un bon exemple qui illustre comment ça se passe à Stockton. Je tourne un coin de rue, puis je vois ces magnifiques maisons, puis de l'autre côté, les barbelés. Je me promène dans le quartier ouest de la ville. Là, je me rends compte qu'il y a des graffitis. Il y en a sur les boîtes à mal, les panneaux de circulation. Il y en a même sur le pavé. C'est écrit WSB. Ce que ça veut dire, West Side Blood. Je devais aller rencontrer quelqu'un à une adresse en particulier. Fait que je suis allé me stationner devant et là, j'ai commencé à me rendre compte qu'on était observé. Il y en a 4-5 cachés en avant d'une vanne qui nous prennent en photo et qui nous filment depuis tantôt. Avec la technologie maintenant, on se fait surveiller autant qu'on les surveille. Par contre, la dynamique, ce qui se produit, c'est que maintenant, les villes sont beaucoup plus petites dans le sens qu'avec un téléphone cellulaire, tu es en mesure de pouvoir passer des messages, des photos, ce qui fait en sorte que lorsqu'on arrive dans d'autres territoires qui appartiennent au Blood, il y a des bonnes chances qu'ils savent déjà de quoi qu'on a de l'air, quel véhicule qu'on conduit, la plaque. Donc, on devient un petit peu moins furtif. L'individu qui devait venir nous rencontrer n'est pas venu. Ce que je crois qui est arrivé, c'est que, justement, ils ont dû faire quelques appels pour faire comprendre à ceux qui venaient nous rencontrer qu'on n'était pas les bienvenus. Puis on me l'a même crié à une certaine distance de partir, qu'on n'avait pas d'affaires là. Je me suis pas astiné parce que, généralement, dans ces quartiers-là, ils n'appellent pas la police pour aider le problème. Ils règlent eux autres mêmes, puis ça se fait avec... Après avoir quitté mon fameux quartier des Bloods, sur une rue qui est un peu plus achalandée, on n'est pas au centre-ville, là, mais on n'est pas loin. Et là, je me rends compte qu'il y a un pick-up. Oui, tout un pick-up. C'est incroyable. Faut que j'aille le voir. Il a amicalement accepté. Et là, je suis allé le rencontrer parce que c'était une œuvre d'art. Hey, Tom, how you doing?
Good, brother. How are you?
Very good. You know, I noticed your truck. You know, I just love it.
Thank you very much.
Can you tell me a bit about it?
Sure. This is all made out of metal. I used to be this joker, this fool many years ago. Partied a lot, running amok, just being a wild man, you know? I was holding the wrong keys. That's why the keys are here.
And what those keys for?
Well, that was the keys to the wrong doing. So now I have the right key. It's, you know, it's not about me. It's about love, man, you know.
And what about your passenger?
It's comical, you know, I drive, people see it, and they look over and go, wow, you know. I've even literally had people say, hey, man, you made my day.
That's a piece of art. And also, there's a spirit to it. You know, like you have the axe on the dash there.
Yeah, that's another thing, you know, that's you know, pick and choose your battles. And that's what that's about. You know, I got pulled over by a cop. He was interested in my truck, and he wanted to know why I had that in there. And just my crazy sense of humor from back in the day. I said, oh, that's for road rage. You know, and he goes, he didn't think that was funny at all, man, so.
Ce que Tom et moi, on a discuté, c'est son cheminement de vie. Ce qu'il faut comprendre, il n'a pas choisi le chemin le plus facile. Il a effectivement été un moteur. Il a fait partie des Hills. On peut voir même sur son véhicule un collant avec le chiffre 81, le 8 qui veut dire le H et le A, la première lettre de l'alphabet. Et quand il en parle, il se réfère à eux comme ses frères. How did you manage to actually change your life?
Well, I knew I needed help. And I knew what I wasn't doing is right. I didn't really feel good about myself. And I started seeing my brothers and people falling off. And I said, man, it's time to change my life, man. I asked my father, hey, show me a sign. I need help, man.
Did you see the sign?
Oh, yeah. You know, I was going to my connections to get my dope, man, okay? And I looked down on the ground, man, and there was a gold medallion with Jesus on it. And at that time, I felt like a rocket ship, man. I just had chills come all over me, bro. So I went the next day, and I'm on my mission, man. Totally spaced it. Within 15 feet from that, where I was when I found that, I looked down, I find a cross. The cross is twisted. Well, I'm like, whoa. And you know what, man? I didn't go through rehab or nothing, okay? He took the drugs out of my life like that.
Vous savez, là, souvent, les gens qui ont été dans le mauvais chemin, lorsqu'ils reviennent, la religion, pour eux, est vraiment un point d'ancrage qui est très fort. On parle de faire du bien, on parle beaucoup d'autrui, d'emmener à changer les autres. Par contre, ce qu'il faut comprendre, c'est qu'on ne change jamais les autres. C'est nous qui décidons si on change ou on ne change pas.
We're not better than the next guy. It's our choices. I mean, literally, that's what makes a difference in this world.
I appreciate them. Thanks.
Hey, brother. Good talking with you, man.
Good talking to you, too.
Thanks talking to you,
Thanks.
man.
Donc là, je m'en vais rencontrer un individu qui s'appelle Ren pour qu'il m'explique, lui, sa vision et la dynamique dans les rues de Stockton. Donc, notre lieu de rencontre, c'est une ruelle. C'est pas compliqué, c'est les ruelles typiques qu'on retrouve dans toutes les villes de la Californie. On a une rue principale, il y a une rangée de bâtiments, il y a une ruelle. Et souvent, bien ça, la nuit, c'est très sombre, c'est pas éclairé, et c'est le genre d'endroit où il se passe plusieurs activités. Where are we at right now?
You're in East Side, Stockton, California.
This is one of the typical back alley you will find in Northern California.
Yeah. It's a gang-infested neighborhood, as you can see. They come over here. We're in Strip Park. There's the park right here.
So what that means?
These are North Daniels. This is like a North Daniel neighborhood, and it's a Crip neighborhood.
This is a Crip neighborhood?
Yeah, it's a Crip neighborhood, too. That's east side, and then the 4 is for 14, because that's Northern California. And then the Strib gang is Stribley Park, so they're repping this area.
It's quite common for them to actually mark their territory?
Yep, even if they come and paint over it, they'll come back and put their gang back up.
Were you part of a gang?
Nah, I grew up around it though, as you can see. I got friends in both. I got best friends that are Bloods. I got best friends that are Crips, and at the time they weren't cool with each other, and I had to be in the middle of that.
How did you manage actually not getting involved with them?
Just growing up around it, seeing the pathway that led to everybody that I knew that jumped into a gang. I see some went to prison, some ain't here no more. It shows you. It's a pathway that we all see it, but everybody wants to get to the end of that road, and there's no good end to it.
So you lived there all your life?
All my life.
You have kids?
Yeah.
You raised them here?
Halfway through it, yeah.
How was it?
We moved.
Oh, yeah?
I didn't want my kids to be around because they were seeing gunshots, and one time I walked out of my house and heard a gunshot, walked around the corner, somebody laying on the floor bleeding to death. My little son was like
So you have to explain to your kid?
Yeah, he was like 3 years old at the time, and what was that, Dad? You know what I mean? So I'm like, I had to get out of here, you know what I mean?
With the kind of violence that those streets actually witness, how do you explain it to your kid?
Well, in a strange way, when the kid grows up around here, it becomes normal to him. And it's not a big deal because they see it all the time. So when you see it all the time, you adapt to it, and it becomes a part of life.
Does it make you angry sometimes when actually, something happened to people close to you?
Yeah, it makes everyone angry, and that's where you get other people retaliation. Usually the violence out here, they know the person. It's not like people are walking up to you just shooting you like, it's not Grand Theft Auto video game.
They had a beef before.
Yeah, 90% of the time it's a beef.
If you tell me about Stockton, how would you describe your city?
It's a beautiful city, I think.
What keep you here?
Because this is my roots. It's like, I grew up right here, even though a lot of violence and I've seen and friends and all that, I wouldn't change it. If I could change it, I would probably have my friends here still.
Fixes and to ride with a tool. Young reckless, didn't follow no rules. Swear took risks to shine like jewels. Couple times was hot, had to play it cool.
Je continue ma promenade, puis on termine ça où? Au parc du quartier. C'est l'endroit où le gang vont se retrouver pour chiller, avoir du plaisir. Et dans son cas à lui, c'est d'aller retrouver son crew où ils vont pratiquer leur musique.
To all inquiring mind, but stay the fuck out of mine. I don't trust no man too many full of greed and lies.
J'ai eu un bon moment. Ça m'a permis de comprendre un peu mieux la dynamique de cet endroit-là, rencontrer des gens, d'avoir du plaisir et de vivre comme eux l'espace d'un instant. Un des fléaux des États-Unis et de la Californie, c'est les prisons. Pour mieux comprendre tout ça, j'ai rencontré Marcus qui a passé un petit peu de temps en prison. Hey, big
Hey, what's up, Hugo?
How you doing?
Good, man. Good to see you.
Hey, good to see you too.
Glad to finally meet up, man.
Nice place.
Yeah. Nice on the outside.
Hear my trains coming, best hop on it, Or the future fly past the present, no stop on it,
Before we go with the after, tell me about how it is once you're inside.
It depends on where you're at. State and federal are different.
Let's start with state.
Okay, well, state prison, a lot of politics. Me and you couldn't really talk in the state.
Why?
Because I'm black, you're white, and a lot of times there's a lot of separation in the state prisons with just races in general. And then beyond the races, you have the gangs.
Marcus, quand il te parle, je pense que tu peux prendre ce qu'il dit pour du cash, comme on dit en langage populaire. How do you manage to survive once you're in the prison?
Well, once you're in prison, you have to basically think 3 to 4 steps ahead of the next person, like a chess game.
You must know first who you're dealing with. You don't know.
If you hit a yard, first off, as a white guy, what they're gonna do, they're gonna tell you, okay, man, bring your paperwork to the yard. They wanna see what you're in here for. If there's anything in your paperwork that you snitched or that you were child pornography or molestation, you're done.
What do you mean by done?
You're done. You can't be on the yard. If you're on the yard and somebody finds out that you're in here for that, you're basically gonna get, somebody's gonna stick you.
Donc, en gros, il nous explique comment ça fonctionne étant un détenu dans les pénitenciers. Et là, ben, tu dois souvent trouver un gang pour t'affilier pour être en mesure de pouvoir survivre. How violent can it get?
Based on my previous record, I had what they consider high points. So I didn't get to go to a camp. You know, they got prison camps too where it's wide open like this. You can walk around, one guard for 100 inmates. Well, I went to a USP where it's locked down. You got guys in there doing 4 or 5 life sentences. You know,
They have nothing to lose.
Nothing to lose. I mean, guys who are in there who's already been down 15, 20 years and they're not going home. It gets violent, man. I've seen a guy get stabbed with a chicken bone.
Les termes qu'il utilise, la manière dont il te livre, tu comprends que ce qu'il a vécu, c'est réel, puis tu te dis, peut-être que la vie est plus belle à l'extérieur des murs d'un pénitencier. You spoke about federal prison. What is the difference?
People in the feds are in there for money laundering, drugs, bank robbery, real estate scams, you know, a lot of different things. Now in the feds, you might be teaching a class on real estate, and I can go to your class.
So it's easier on the inmates.
And not necessarily easier, but it is more productive because they are more educated than the guy most likely you'll deal with in the state who might just be, you know, just a dirtbag.
Basically, people in jail see the world in colors.
Correct.
You got the white people, you have the black, you have the Hispanic, the Chinese.
Yeah,
so
it's
that's
sad.
the way it works.
That's sad. It's sad. And then those guys get out, and then they're looked up to the youngsters, and it perpetuate that. Because a lot of these youngsters, you know, they think it's cool to walk around with a pistol and, you know, instead of fighting like back in the days, everybody wants to shoot each other. Now, you shoot somebody, man, you're going to go away 20, 30, maybe life. And now you got to think about it. The rest of your life, you're going to be around men who are barbaric, who want to hurt you, and they don't think about that. You know, I know some guys, they've never dealt with people outside their race. They grew up in the area, and all they dealt with was black people. All they dealt with were Mexican people. I know guys that were Mexican, they're like, hey, man, I can't talk to you over here. Meet me over here, and I'll talk to you so nobody sees us. And that's sad, man.
Donc Marcus, lui, sa fierté, c'est qu'il a décidé de reprendre sa vie en main. Et pour ce faire, il aide les anciens détenus à valoriser leur vie pour faire en sorte, justement, de choisir un différent chemin et d'éviter de retourner d'où ce qu'ils venaient. About your work, do you see it making a difference in some people's life?
Yeah, it's funny you say that because I've had Stanford professors email me about my show, Fresh Out. I had a prison guard who works in Ohio actually emailed us, and they've been using our interviews as pre-release classes for guys getting out to show what you can do. Our whole thing was not to promote the negative side, the guy who's going back and forth. You can see that guy all day. We want to show the guy who got out, who got a job, the guy who made a difference.
Who succeed.
Who succeeds. So that when you get out, you don't think like, because what people tell you is like, once you go to prison, you're always going to go to prison. You're going to keep going back. So in your mind, you're like, man, am I always going to go back? And you set yourself up to go back. But if you see guys that are getting out, man, getting a job, working, owning your own business, it makes you feel different about yourself. It creates positive self-esteem.
Oh, you're doing a great work, I appreciate that.
Thank you. I appreciate it, Hugo, man. Thanks for the interview, man.
Thanks. À Stockton, comme dans bien des villes aux États-Unis, un des gros problèmes, c'est les itinérants. Il y en a qui ont trouvé une manière de se bâtir des abris. Donc, ils construisent ça en dessous des viaducs des autoroutes ou dans les endroits adjacents à ça. Ce qui fait qu'on a le droit à des beaux petits villages de tentes puis il y a pas mal de monde. Et ces gens-là, ben, c'est simple, ils veulent juste trouver une façon de survivre. Donc, je m'en vais dans une genre de soupe populaire qui est organisée par des jeunes du coin. Donc, ils appellent ça, eux autres, un potluck. Et là, ben, je m'en vais rencontrer Demar, qui, lui, il est un artiste hip-hop de la région de Stockton. Il y a le look qui va avec, mais il y a surtout le cœur sur la main. Where are we exactly?
Right now, we're in Tent City, Stockton, California. One of the roughest parts, man, because as you see, we got a lot of the homeless out here, man, and they get pushed back.
So what's going on now?
Right now, I put together a CBT drive, cold blanket and turkey drive. You know, it's a community potluck, you know, and it's a pop-up cipher. You know, I got the artists out here, you know, in the hip-hop community trying to put them in a better light.
So you're giving away food, you're giving away like goods?
Yeah, we're giving away food, we got care packages, we got blankets, we got jackets, and we got the community they brought out turkey, chicken, stuffing, bread, I mean, all type of things. So they're gonna eat good today.
Well, that's good. Ready to go?
Ready to go. Let's get into it.
All right, I'll let you do your things, and we actually hook up later.
All right, thank you.
All right.
Appreciate you.
Thanks. J'étais vraiment frappé de voir que c'était pas nécessairement des gens qui venaient de milieux bien nantis, qui allaient aider les sans-abri. C'est des gens qui avaient de la misère eux-mêmes. Donc, ça me donne une idée du genre de don de soi que ces gens-là ont. Je me mets à discuter avec lui et son ami qui appelle son frère Juju. You're doing a lot of those events?
Yeah, man, I do these events as much as I can, because in a city like this, they need to see it. You know what I'm saying? They need to wake up. You know what I'm saying? This is a breath of fresh air for a lot of people.
You don't take the first step to change, you know, everything just doesn't come together. You know, we try to put people in position to enjoy themselves, you know? You know, it's all family. We all here. We all grew up here. Everybody knows everybody. All we got to drag each other down. How come we can't come together one day, at least one day, you know, and just get together and have fun and relax?
But music gets people together.
Yeah, music get people together.
This gets people together as well.
This right here is gonna get people thinking a little healthier. In a city that thrives off negativity, we gotta think a little healthier out here.
How does it make you feel when you hear all what they're saying about your town?
It's disappointing, man. We could do so much better. We got talent everywhere. It's not just music. We got smart people, we got doctors, we got people just going out there doing activism. We got a whole bunch of stuff going on, and when I'm watching the news or I'm watching people talk about our city, it's like, wait a minute, that's not all we are. You know what I'm saying? We have real people here with real problems, and everybody is on the same mission. Everybody just trying to flourish, and that bad light that they put on it, we trying to get rid of that. You know what I'm saying? It's more than that. We more than that.
Do you feel somehow that people is giving a bad reputation to the city where it might not be deserved?
Like I said, we're a city that thrives off negativity. Does that mean negativity is always happening here? No. I mean, what city doesn't have negativity? Every city, they have their up and downs. You know what I'm saying? You know, we just got shorter ups and longer downs. You know what I'm saying? But we gotta highlight the ups, and we never do.
Yeah.
But you must, admit, crime rates here in Stockton is one of the highest in the country.
Yeah.
We're a small city. It's gonna happen. They took a lot of stuff from us a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? When I was growing up, it was more stuff for me to do as a child than it is for the youth to do nowadays. So as long as I'm presenting something positive, as long as I'm presenting something different, something new, people gonna change, people gonna come.
I was amazed. I was watching the kids, waiting for their food, waiting for the gift, the smile on their face. That must make you feel good.
It's an amazing feeling, man.
Giving back, it always feels good. If I can show the kids something new, then I'm all for it. If I can see a smile, if I can get a smile, I'm all for it. I'm not for the negativity that's cracking off out here, but it happens. You know what I'm saying? But if we don't nip it in the bud right now, it's gonna continue to happen. You know what I'm saying? And these kids gonna continue to see it, so we gotta continue to change it, continue to fight. You know what I'm saying? So we fight for those smiles.
One day at a time.
One day at a time.
Well, you should put a smile on my face.
Yeah, Hugo. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you coming. It's real, man. With y'all, man. It's your boy Spooky Lieutenant. We out here, Stockton, California. Getting it poppin', man. This is CBT Drive, man. Coke, blanket, and turkey. Shout out to everybody who came. You know what I'm saying? I feel sorry for you if you did it. You know what I'm saying? You needed some of this love today. Real talk. But look, man, we're gonna get into this cipher, man. First, shout out Canada. You know what I'm saying? Because they out here and we live, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, check it out, man. It's your boy, man. Stockton in the house, baby. Let's get it. Stockton, California, baby. J-Cat the Savage, man. Peace.
Souvent, on rencontre des Crips et des Bloods, mais c'est beaucoup plus difficile de rencontrer des gangs latinos. Premièrement, on parle pas la même langue, puis sont très ethniques. Donc, c'est difficile de briser le carcan et de pouvoir entrer en contact avec eux. Je rencontre Derek, qui est un ex-Norteños, qui lui a décidé de changer de vie et surtout, il n'a pas peur d'en parler. Donc, je rencontre dans le quartier sud de Stockton. Écoutez, on a l'impression d'être au Mexique, sauf qu'on est dans le nord de la Californie. So which neighborhood are we at right now?
Right now, we're standing on the corner of Charter Way and San Joaquin in Stockton, California. I used to live on these streets. And every morning, I would come to the liquor store right across the street, and I'd start my day off with a bottle of vodka.
How old were you when you were coming here every day?
I started using drugs and alcohol at the age of 10.
Are you kidding me?
No, yeah, I started real young. After a few years of using, it became a habit. And to feed my addiction, I had to engage in criminal activity, robbing and stealing, however I can get money to support that habit.
Over the past 10 years, did it change a lot?
Yes, it has. It's very quiet now. Everybody's in the house. There's not too much drug or criminal activity on the streets anymore. 10 years ago, this place was littered with drug users and drug sellers.
Can you tell me, how you started, your relationship with the system?
Yeah, because of my drug use and criminal activity, I started going to jail and prison starting back in 1990. I've been incarcerated on at least 8 prison yards in the state of California, 15 felony convictions, and on parole for 20 years. And I finally finished with probation, and I haven't been back to jail or prison in going on 3 years.
Over those years, were you injured in any way?
Oh, yes. I've been shot 5 times.
5 times?
Yes. 3 of them bullets punctured 5 major organs, and I survived that. In one night, I was stabbed 11 times in the back, the shoulders, and the head, and I survived that.
You've done 24 years, in and out. At which point you decided that was enough and you took control of your life and make something positive with it?
You know, 3 years ago, through the court systems of San Joaquin County, I was referred to an organization, which I now work for. The first thing that my organization offered me was to get some tattoos removed. These markings represented all those years on the streets and in prison.
Donc, à force de discuter, on parle de son cheminement, puis il se met à me parler pourquoi il veut enlever ses tatous. Parce qu'il veut effacer une partie de sa vie et surtout, ça fait beaucoup plus professionnel de ne pas avoir de tatous apparents. You spoke a lot about respect and what you had to do to get respect. How do you feel now that you get this same kind of respect?
Today, because I'm making better choices, I'm gaining respect from people that open doors for me. And then I see the respect still from my old friends. And you know what? They've even told me how proud they are of me because they thought I'd be dead by now.
You're leading by example.
Exactly. And that is what I feel is my purpose in life, is to just help others be better.
Just keep on the good work.
Thank you.
Very proud of you.
Thank you, Hugo.
Donc, il m'invite à l'accompagner à un endroit qui s'appelle Ink of Me, où il va subir une session pour enlever les tatous. Derek, you're about to get it started, so they're gonna remove some of your tattoo. How you feel about it?
I'm very excited to continue removing these unwanted tattoos. Visible tattoos are quite a barrier when looking for employment. And since I've started this process, doors have opened up for me. And by being free of visible tattoos, I'm becoming a new man.
So, what are you gonna get done today?
I am going to remove from my wrist down on both hands and the visible tattoos along my neck.
Okay, the stars and the number, 5150?
5150, yes.
What it means?
That is stating that you're criminally insane by the mental health department.
So you were 5150?
At a point in time, I was insane.
So how long the session's gonna last?
Today's session will last 15 minutes. It's real fast, very painful.
Very painful?
Yes.
Are you getting on?
I'm ready.
All right. Good luck. I'll be waiting for you.
Okay. Thank you.
On s'entend que je rentre pas dans la salle avec lui, mais j'entends le bruit de l'appareil avec lequel on enlève les tatous. Puis, ça n'a pas l'air d'être plaisant.
But situations haven't helped. Before you know it's gone for good, I should have told you when I could.
Hey, how was it?
Great.
Good job, buddy.
One more step.
So, congratulations, eh?
Thank you.
Keep on the good work. Good luck for the future. I think you're on the right way.
Thank you so much.
Take care. Stockton, là, c'est pas nécessairement, je dirais, l'image qu'on se fait d'une ville californienne. Par contre, il faut comprendre, c'est une ville qui est en faillite, c'est une ville qui est pas facile, qui tente à se relever. Puis, juste vous donner un exemple, le maire de la ville a 24 ans. Clairement, il y a des gens qui étaient en position de faire de gros changements, qui ont décidé que c'était peut-être un défi qui était trop élevé à réaliser.